Welcome back to Your Next Watch, an ongoing series that looks at the watches you're considering buying and breaks them down based on real, hands-on experience. Continuing our unintentional theme of time-only watches as of late, we look towards a German brand that is probably most known for their heavy ties to Fliegers, marine chronometers and clean Bauhaus-inspired creations. The watch we're exploring today relates closest to the latter. Oh, and this specific version is limited to just 100 models. Don't be convinced by the Partitio's modern look. The original design the watch takes heavy influence from can be seen on models dating back to the 30s, proving that the art of simplicity is also timeless. Coming in at 37mm wide with a thickness of 10.8mm and a lug-to-lug measurement of right around 46mm, the Stowa is on the smaller side of watchmaking. It's worth taking particular note of the lug and case design as well. The case keeps things simple and goes for a clean traditional design, with a rounded bezel being the only distinguishing feature. The lugs, however, are very long and prominent. The lug-to-case ratio means the Partitio's small footprint only feels smaller when on the wrist. The Partitio Classic is available in 3 different dial colours: black, white or grey. Matte black and white are the standard original options, with the sunburst grey being reserved exclusively for this limited edition model we have with us today. The first telltale signs that this watch has historical ties are those syringe hands. This injects a level of class and elegance into a typically vanilla watch design. The Arabic numerals of the Partitio are well proportioned with a subtle green tone to them, thanks to the addition of lume throughout. The second hand has dropped any sign of a counterbalance, creating a short but distinctive look. The Stowa also opted for their older logo here, which we're naturally big fans of. Taking a look at the watch, we get a look at the Eta 2824-2, powering our Partitio Classic in grey. On the non-limited edition models, the movement is hidden behind a solid caseback. So it's a fantastic addition to be able to see the now iconic movement in its own right, ticking away. The Eta is a top grade with the Geneva stripes and blued screws. What can we say about the 2824 that hasn't been said before? There's a reason why it's one of the most popular Swiss movements. It's practically bulletproof, with a reputation to match. This watch has managed to pull off a difficult task, something which is hard to execute and pull off well. It's managed to find uniqueness in such a simple design. On paper and in person, the watch is a simply designed time-only watch, with a universally approved design. However, where this watch really transforms is on the wrist. The watch has an unexplainable, quirky charm that is only enhanced when paired with the right strap. More on that in a moment. The lugs play a big part in how the watch feels on the wrist. The watch can easily be split into 2/3, with the lugs taking 1/3 and the dial and case taking the remaining 2. Of course, the sunburst grey adds to the watch's flair as well. The inclusion of syringe hands cleverly hints at the historical relevance of the watch. If you weren't aware of the original models designed from the 30s, the watch hands effectively portray this watch as more of a story behind it than other modern designs. The Stowa performs most effectively when worn in a smart casual situation. This makes it ideal for office wear, effectively getting the balance right between professionalism and style. Naturally, I experimented with a few strap options, and this is where the watch really came into its own. The Stowa Partitio comes in at 18mm wide at the lugs. I think this watch probably could have pulled off 20mm lugs, however 18mm does mean it's a little more elegant and considered on the wrist. Let's jump straight into some strap suggestions. The Painswick is a personal favourite for smaller, thin, clean watches, and the Stowa fits the bill perfectly. The distressed brown is my go-to choice here, as it interjects some much welcome warmth to the watch, avoiding the piece feeling washed out. Much like the Painswick, the Besford in chestnut has a similar effect in warming the watch's aesthetic. The slightly different tone of the brown makes the watch feel a little smarter on the wrist, with the final icing on the cake being the white stitching. This picks up on the white lume on the dial to emphasise the watch's clean look. Now it seems every time we look at a clinical, time-only, typical Bauhaus style watch, we end up putting it on a mesh. Go for a classic mesh to really add a sense of pop to a normally subdued piece. Normally I have a few points we'd like to see changed on watches reviewed, however here on the Stowa the only feature is the size. Normally a watch coming in at 37mm would receive no complaints from me, however due to the fact that the lugs really make themselves seen on this watch, the case itself can actually feel quite small. If this was, say, 39mm, I think the balance between the lug and the case would feel a little fairer, and it would appeal to more wrists. Stowa Partitio Grey takes an already individual looking piece and spices it up with the addition of a sunburst grey. This is another example of a watch punching above its weight. The Christopher Ward C65 Sandhurst we looked at recently was very similar. Let's not forget this is a model that is limited to only 100 pieces. That instantly makes it more desirable with watch collectors. The standard version of the Partitio comes in at €770, with this limited edition totaling €980. To check out and find out more about Stowa, we'll leave a link to their website in the description below. Thanks for watching our quick look at the Stowa Partitio.